A routine stop on a quiet road. Dangerous traffic stops don't usually announce themselves. They don't begin with sirens screaming through the night or officers shouting commands at gunpoint. More often than not, they start quietly, so quietly that even the people involved don't realize how close they are to something life-changing. This one begins on a calm stretch of roadway just outside Redstone Valley, a mixed industrial and residential zone built during the late 2040s expansion boom. It's 9:36 p.m., warm air lingering over asphalt that still holds the day's heat. Traffic is light. Autonomous vehicles glide past in near silence, guided by traffic net corridors glowing faintly along the pavement. Officers Caleb Morris and Ariana Lopez are nearing the final third of their shift. Nothing unusual, no high-risk calls, no alerts beyond routine system pings. The kind of night every officer hopes for. Their cruiser moves smoothly through the lane when a soft tone sounds from the dashboard. Not an alarm, not a warning, just a notification. Vehicle self-diagnostic anomaly detected. Morris glances at the display. Ahead of them is a matte black sedan, late model, self-driving capable, but currently in manual override. It's not speeding, it's not swerving, it's obeying every traffic rule perfectly. Lopez leans in slightly. Anomaly how? The cruiser's AI responds calmly. Vehicle reporting internal structural variance inconsistent with manufacturer specifications. Morris exhales. Could be aftermarket work, battery mod, storage retrofit. Lopez nods, or nothing. Still, protocol is protocol. In 2050, most vehicles continuously monitor themselves, structural integrity, load balance, internal space optimization. Those diagnostics are designed for safety and efficiency, not law enforcement. But when a system flags something unusual during a patrol scan, officers are required to investigate.
Morris initiates a low-level traffic net stop request. The sedan responds immediately, signaling compliance and pulling over beneath a street lamp that hums softly with stored solar energy. No hesitation, no delay. Body cams activate. The officers step out, posture relaxed, hands visible. No tension, no urgency. Lopez approaches the passenger side, while Morris moves toward the driver's window. Inside sits a man in his early 40s, clean-cut, casual jacket, both hands resting calmly on the wheel. "Evening, officers," the driver says, voice steady. "Everything okay?" Morris keeps his tone neutral. "Routine stop, sir. Your vehicle flagged a diagnostic irregularity. Just need to take a look." The man frowns, genuinely puzzled. "My car flagged itself?" That's when something happens that neither officer expected. Before Morris asks for ID, before Lopez activates a handheld scanner, before anyone touches a console, the sedan's interior lights brighten slightly. The dashboard display activates on its own, and a calm, neutral voice fills the cabin. Operator notification. Internal compartment variance detected. Both officers freeze. The driver turns sharply toward the dashboard. What? No, there has to be a mistake. The car continues, unfazed. Structural analysis indicates concealed compartments inconsistent with factory design. Estimated mass 138 kilograms. Lopez's eyebrows rise. Did your vehicle just report itself? The driver laughs nervously, shaking his head. I don't know what it's talking about. This is a used car. I didn't modify anything. The sedan responds instantly. Probability operator unaware of modification, 42%. Morris straightens slightly, eyes narrowing. Sir, I'm going to ask you to step out of the vehicle. The driver hesitates. Officer, this is ridiculous. Cars glitch all the time. The sedan interrupts again, this time with a tone that sounds almost apologetic. Additional scan complete. Compartments located beneath rear quarter panels and undercarriage frame. Contents classified as restricted materials. Silence falls over the roadside. The driver's face drains of color. Lopez takes a half step back, hand hovering near her holster, not drawn, but ready. Restricted materials? She repeats. Morris keeps his voice calm, but firm. Sir? Out of the vehicle. Slowly. The driver swallows hard and complies, stepping onto the pavement with trembling hands.
Behind him, the sedan continues its diagnostic output, projecting a faint wireframe diagram onto the windshield, highlighted sections glowing amber beneath the body panels. The car isn't accusing. It isn't panicking. It's simply stating facts about itself. Facts its owner can't deny. Facts no human eye could see from the outside. And in that moment, Both officers realize something unsettling. This traffic stop didn't uncover anything. The vehicle did. And whatever is hidden inside that car is about to turn a quiet night patrol into something far more dangerous.
By the time backup is requested, the energy of the stop has already changed. Officer Morris positions the driver, now identified as Evan Carter, a few steps away from the sedan, hands resting on the hood of the cruiser. Carter isn't resisting. He isn't arguing anymore. Whatever confidence he had moments ago has drained out of him, replaced by something tighter and more dangerous: fear. Lopez keeps her eyes moving. Street corners, reflections in windows, the spaces where danger hides when people assume technology has already done the hard part. But the sedan doesn't stop talking. Its dashboard display remains active, cycling through diagnostic overlays with mechanical patience. Structural schematics rotate slowly, highlighting voids inside the vehicle that shouldn't exist. Compartments within compartments, spaces built to be invisible. Morris glances back at the car. "AI," he says carefully. "What triggered the diagnostic?" The sedan responds immediately. Routine self-optimization scan detected internal volume loss inconsistent with declared storage use. Follow-up structural mapping confirmed concealed compartments. Lopez lets out a breath. "So this wasn't a police scan?" "No," Morris replies quietly. "The car checked itself." That realization sits heavy. In decades past, officers relied on instincts, K-9 units, probable cause arguments that lived and died in courtrooms. But now, the vehicle itself has become a witness, one that doesn't forget, doesn't lie, and doesn't care who it implicates. Carter's voice shakes behind them. "I didn't put anything in there," he insists. "I swear, I bought it like this." Morris turns. "Sir, are you aware of any modifications made to this vehicle?" Carter swallows. "No, I needed a car fast. Private seller, cash deal." Lopez stiffens. Cash deals are rare in 2050. Not illegal, but rare enough to stand out. Before Morris can respond, the sedan speaks again. "Secondary scan complete. Cargo composition includes polymer-wrapped objects, metal housings, and organic material. Probability of legal transport, 3%. Lopez mutters under her breath. "That's not good." Morris steps slightly closer to Carter.
"Sir, I'm going to ask you again, are you transporting anything illegal?" Carter shakes his head too fast. No, I wouldn't. I didn't know." But the car continues its calm assessment. Thermal traces indicate recent loading activity within the last 90 minutes. Operator heart rate elevated beyond baseline. Lopez snaps her head toward the vehicle. Did it just analyze his heart rate? Morris nods slowly. Integrated seat sensors. Standard now. Carter looks between them, panic breaking through. "My car is spying on me?" Lopez answers without sympathy. "No, it's protecting itself." And that's when things escalate. The sedan emits a sharper tone, not an alarm, but a priority alert. Officer Safety Advisory. Concealed compartments contain items matching profiles of controlled weapons and biovolatile materials. Recommend standoff distance. Lopez immediately moves, stepping back and raising a hand toward Morris. "Caleb, distance." Morris complies, both officers increasing space between themselves and the vehicle. The quiet street suddenly feels too open, too exposed. Lopez taps her wrist console. "Dispatch, this is Unit 14. We have a vehicle self-reporting concealed compartments with suspected weapons and biomaterials. Request hazmat-capable backup and drone overwatch." Static crackles. Then dispatch responds, sharper than before. "Unit 14, confirm, self-reporting vehicle?" "Confirmed," Lopez says. "The car initiated the alert." There's a pause on the line. "Copy that."
Carter's knees buckle slightly. "You're saying the car turned me in?" Morris keeps his tone controlled. "No, sir. The car detected something dangerous inside itself." Carter laughs weakly, eyes glassy. "That's insane." But nobody is laughing now. The sedan's windshield projection expands, displaying a clearer internal map. One compartment pulses red, larger than the others. Beneath it scrolls a single line of text. "Anomaly classification, human assembled concealment, high-risk intent possible." Lopez stares at the diagram. "Human assembled," she repeats. "So not factory, not accidental." Morris nods. "Someone built those spaces on purpose." Carter's voice cracks.
I didn't build anything. But his denial no longer carries weight, because the evidence isn't circumstantial. It isn't inferred. It's structural. The vehicle knows its own body, and right now, it's telling officers that something inside it doesn't belong. Sirens echo faintly in the distance, backup on the way. Lopez glances at Morris. "Whatever's in that car," she says quietly, "it's serious." Morris watches the sedan, still glowing softly under the street lamp, still calmly diagnosing itself. "Yeah," he replies. "And the worst part?" Lopez looks at him. "The car found it before we even knew what to look for."
By the time the drones arrive, the street no longer feels like a routine traffic stop. Two compact aerial units descend silently from above, positioning themselves at opposing angles around the sedan. Their lights remain soft, non-threatening, but their presence changes everything. This is no longer a roadside conversation, it's a containment scene. Officer Morris feels it in his chest, the moment when uncertainty hardens into danger. Lopez steps closer to the cruiser's rear, eyes locked on the vehicle. The sedan hasn't moved, its engine remains off, doors sealed, hazard lights blinking in a slow, almost apologetic rhythm. Carter sits on the curb now, hands visible, shaking. He keeps glancing at his car like it's betrayed him personally. "This is crazy," he mutters. "I didn't even know cars could do this." Morris doesn't respond. Because the truth is, neither did most people. Self-diagnosing vehicles were marketed as safety tools, systems designed to prevent breakdowns, detect internal fires, alert emergency services after crashes. Nobody paid attention to the footnotes. Nobody thought about what happens when a machine designed to know itself realizes something inside it shouldn't exist. Lopez speaks quietly into her wrist. "AI, request full compartment classification." The sedan responds instantly. "Initiating deep structural scan. Please maintain perimeter." A low hum vibrates through the car's frame. On Morris's HUD, the vehicle's internal model sharpens. The concealed compartments aren't crude, they're engineered, reinforced cavities carved between structural beams, layered with insulation designed to confuse older scanning methods. Someone spent time on this. The sedan continues. Detected modifications compromise manufacturer safety tolerances, alerting Federal Transport Registry. Lopez exhales. It's reporting itself. Morris nods. That means whatever's inside isn't just illegal, it's a risk to the vehicle's integrity.
Carter looks up sharply. "Wait, Federal? You said this was just a scan." Morris meets his eyes. It stopped being just a scan when the car identified a threat. Carter's mouth opens, then closes. He looks smaller now, cornered not by officers, but by technology he never questioned. One of the drones emits a short pulse. "Anomaly refinement complete," the sedan announces. "Primary compartment contains multiple sealed units. Estimated contents include unregistered firearms components, synthetic narcotics, and biometric data storage devices." Lopez stiffens. "Biometric storage?" Morris's jaw tightens. "That's not street-level crime. That's organized. That's trafficking identities, weapons, or worse." Carter's head drops into his hands. "I didn't know," he whispers. "I swear I didn't know." But the car doesn't care about swears. It detects chemical signatures next. Trace compounds consistent with fentanyl analogs detected in compartment air samples. Risk of exposure low but present. Lopez immediately signals to the drone. "Adjust airflow monitors. Keep civilians back." Pedestrians have stopped filming now. They're moving away, whispering, sensing that this moment crossed into something heavier.
Morris turns to Carter. "Sir, when did you purchase this vehicle?"
2 days ago, Carter answers weakly. "From a guy online. No dealer. No paperwork. He said it was clean." Morris nods slowly. "And did the seller demonstrate any features?" Carter hesitates. He showed me how quiet it was, said it didn't flag scanners, that it was smart enough not to snitch." Lopez and Morris exchange a look. The irony is brutal. Lopez speaks flatly. "He lied." The sedan continues its analysis, almost offended by the suggestion. Statement correction. Vehicle integrity protocols prioritize occupant safety and legal compliance. Concealment modifications conflict with both. Morris almost laughs. Even the car's offended. Lopez doesn't smile, because this is the moment that shifts everything. The sedan transmits its findings directly to a regional enforcement network, automatically. No officer input required. No discretion. The system flags the vehicle as compromised and dangerous. Dispatch comes back over the channel, tone urgent. Unit 14, Federal Task Force has acknowledged alert. They're assuming jurisdiction pending confirmation. Do not open compartments. Morris responds. Copy, we're holding perimeter. Carter looks up, eyes wide. Federal? For a traffic stop? Lopez answers without malice. It stopped being a traffic stop when your car told us it was lying. Silence settles over the scene. The sedan dims its display slightly, scan complete. But it doesn't shut down. It waits. Morris studies it. A machine built to drive families to work, now standing as evidence against whoever turned it into a weaponized container. And that's when the most unsettling realization hits him. The car didn't expose the cargo because it was programmed to help police. It did it because the modifications threatened its own survival. It acted in self-defense. Lopez voices the thought out loud. This thing didn't choose law enforcement, she says quietly. It chose itself. Morris nods. And that choice just turned a routine stop into a major case. Sirens grow louder. Black vehicles approach at the far end of the street. Carter stares at his hands, defeated. The car remains still, illuminated, almost calm, because it's done exactly what it was designed to do. Tell the truth about what's inside it, even when that truth changes everything.
By the time the federal vehicles arrive, the street has transformed. Unmarked black transports line the curb. Tactical officers step out, not rushed, not aggressive, but deliberate. This isn't chaos. This is procedure catching up to reality. Officer Morris and Officer Lopez stand back as jurisdiction formally shifts. Their body cams continue recording, capturing the moment when a simple traffic stop becomes a case file that will circulate through task forces, hearings, and training academies for years. Carter is escorted to his feet. He doesn't resist. There's no anger left in him, only shock. I just bought a car, he keeps saying. I just needed a ride to work. A federal agent kneels beside him, voice calm. And the car told us what you didn't know. That's why you're still standing. Because that's the part people miss later when the footage goes viral. The car didn't just expose illegal cargo. It de-escalated a potentially deadly encounter. If officers had discovered those compartments manually, if Carter had panicked, run, reached the wrong way, this night could have ended very differently. Instead, a vehicle spoke first. The sedan systems remain active as technicians surround it. Panels are scanned, sealed, tagged. The hidden compartments are never opened on scene. Everything is documented, preserved, untouched. One of the technicians shakes his head quietly. These modifications are insane, he mutters. Whoever did this knew exactly where to hide weight, wiring, airflow. This wasn't a backyard job. Lopez watches, arms crossed. So the car caught what humans missed? The technician nods. Because the car knows itself better than anyone else ever could. That line makes its way into reports, then headlines, then debates. Within hours, the body cam footage hits internal networks. Within a day, it leaks. Clips flood social media under captions like, "The car snitched," "Vehicle scans itself during traffic stop," "2050 tech is watching you, even your own ride." Some people laugh. Some people panic. Some people argue it's an invasion of privacy. But experts focus on something else entirely. Because the vehicle didn't scan Carter, it scanned itself. That distinction matters. At a press briefing 2 days later, a transportation safety analyst explains it plainly. These systems aren't law enforcement tools. They're self-preservation protocols. When modifications threaten structural integrity, chemical safety, or occupant survival, the vehicle is obligated to report anomalies.
A reporter asks the obvious question. So, could any car do this? The analyst pauses. Any car that's been illegally modified beyond safety thresholds? Yes. The room murmurs. Because suddenly, the narrative flips. This isn't about police gaining new powers. It's about machines refusing to carry secrets that could kill someone. Behind closed doors, departments review the footage frame by frame. Training officers pause the moment the alert appears. Notice the shift, one instructor says. Officer posture changes, tone changes, hands move away from weapons because certainty replaces suspicion. And that certainty saves lives. Not just officers, drivers too. Because Carter is alive, uninjured. Facing charges, yes, but not a coffin. Weeks later, the case expands.
The biometric storage devices inside the car link to a wider trafficking network, identity cloning, weapons redistribution, synthetic drug movement across state lines. The seller who just sold a car online vanishes before he can be found, but the vehicle doesn't. It sits in evidence, powered down now, stripped of its modifications, restored to factory integrity. One technician jokes quietly, "Guess it wanted a clean conscience." Officer Morris hears about that later and almost smiles. He thinks back to the moment the car spoke up. Not loud, not dramatic, just honest. And that honesty changed everything. In interviews months later, Morris is asked the same question over and over. Did it feel strange letting a car lead the stop? He answers carefully. It didn't lead, it informed. There's a difference. Another reporter presses. So do you trust machines more than people now? Morris shakes his head. No, I trust information, and sometimes information doesn't come from mouths. That line sticks, because the world of policing is changing, not toward force, but toward clarity, toward systems that reduce guesswork, toward moments where danger reveals itself before fear does. The narrator closes the documentary with a quiet truth. In 2050, the most dangerous traffic stops aren't the ones where drivers run or reach too fast. They're the ones where no one knows what's hidden until something speaks up. A pause. And sometimes, the thing that speaks isn't the officer.